Welcome to day 15 of the journey to greatness that we've been on together. It's been fun to do this with you as I've been walking through some of the key principles that I'm sharing in my upcoming book. And this last few days we've been looking at renewing your mind and talking about the mindset issue that we have to deal with. When we build our God core, that spiritual foundation affects every other area of our life. When we protect our relationships, that brings us to just a better, healthier place in our life. But we need to really think about how our mindset does affect us. And so we've talked about, the impact of our mind these last few days. We've talked about identifying limiting beliefs and destroying your gremlins and installing freeing beliefs that will replace those negative limiting beliefs. So today, as we're going to wrap up this section on renewing your mind, the topic for today is to live your clarity. Live your clarity. And what I mean by that is when you do these things, when you have filtered out the limiting beliefs, when you have learned to attack them and to annihilate these gremlins that just seem to run rampant in your mind and hold you back and keep you from dreaming and moving forward into the life that God wants for you, when you can do that and you install new freeing beliefs that you can operate from, then you have this opportunity to live your clarity, that you will be able to have a clear mind. You'll have a clear vision for your life. You'll have clarity in what you should do next and how you should operate on a daily basis. The mental fog will be gone. There's a story that I love to share that I heard a while back, that this new couple moved into a house, and each morning as they were having breakfast, the wife would look out their window and just get so frustrated with their neighbor's grimy house. And day after day this went on. She just kept looking out the window and she just couldn't believe how dingy and dirty that house was. And she kept making comments to her husband, and he just sat there eating his breakfast and listening to her. And finally one day she got up and he was sitting at the breakfast table and she looked out the window and she's like, wow, what happened? And she's like, look at this house. Did they clean it? I mean, did they wash it? What did they do? And the husband just had this snide smile on his face, and he said, honey, I got up early this morning and I cleaned our windows. See, she didn't understand that the neighbor's house wasn't the issue. It was her house. They had moved in, and one of the basic things she had forgotten was that her own windows and her could cloud her vision for what is reality. And the same is true for our mindset. What we operate from within is how we see externally. See, if our mind is not clear, if we have these limiting beliefs, then we see things through clouded lenses. We talk about people looking at things through rose-colored glasses sometimes, where they see things and everything looks great, to them, because they just kind of ignore all the junk in the world, and it's almost a state of mind where they just bury their head in the sand, and so it's not really a compliment when most people say that, but the same can be true with our mindset. When we're not clear, then we see things poorly. We don't see things the way they are. We see things the way we are, and so today what I want to encourage you to do is a couple things. So first, you need to remove your own blinds. And what I mean by this is, if you have blinds hanging in your windows, they are very functional to block out the sun, but they also impede your vision a bit, right? And so if you remove the blinds of your mind, the things that, as you adjust these blinds that you can adjust up and down, and you can block your view, you can protect, your view on one hand, but you can also block the good things that you can see externally. And so you need to actually remove the blinds in your mind and just say, I need to look outside and not hide inside, not block my view. The next thing you need to do is to clean those windows. Just like this wife in this story, sometimes we just need to clean our windows. We need to just do the work on ourselves and say, you know what, I'm seeing things poorly. I need to get the Windex out and the paper towels out, and I need to wipe the windows down because I'm not seeing clearly because of what's happening within. And so that's an important step. So you remove anything that impedes your vision, but you also clean up your vision by just doing what you can to renew your mind and get a fresh take on things. And then finally, look to the future. See, a lot of times on our mind, the problem is the junk that we deal with, the limiting beliefs that we have, is about our past. We think about what somebody said to us. We think of experiences we had that maybe make us gun shy now, where we're a bit afraid of what the future holds, because we're worried about the past, or we don't see what the potential of our future is because we're worried about the past. And so what I want to encourage you to do is be forward thinking. As a coach, my goal is always to help clients look forward, not backward. Definitely we can learn from our past, but too many of us get stuck in our past. We're too focused on the past that we don't move forward. We don't look forward to the future. Because if we start to have a vision for the future, if we start to believe that God has something greater for us a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we start to look forward, and we start to move in that direction by taking action as we can, it changes things. It changes our perspective. And so what I want to encourage you today is remove those blinds, clean those windows, but then look to the future. Don't turn around and look backwards. It's kind of like when the metaphor of driving a car. If you look in the rearview mirror, you're going to crash because you're looking backwards. You're not looking ahead at what's coming. And so in your mind, you need to look forward in what's ahead, because the past is over. Today is what you have, but there is hope for the future because God has great plans for your life. And if you believe that and you start to take action on that, then you'll start to live your clarity. You'll start to have this renewed mind that gives you the energy and enthusiasm that you need to live the way God wants you to live, and to experience the life that God wants you to experience. So that's our final step in this Renew Your Mind module. And so tomorrow we're going to move on to the next phase, and I look forward to connecting with you then. Take care.